He said, I work with loads of people. We just got it. And he played me what is called Hearts and Knives or something. And he'd stolen my song called Dreamer. He'd stolen that and added the word I know. And then claimed part of the songwriting.
Right.
It was all like that. It was all like he knew how to take a share of the publishing. He knew how to copy the sound of Billy Currie played an OBX and an ARP, and he had this synthesizer and you had that drum machine. And I just got a load of people who make music, and they just make music that sounds like, can you give me something like Hans Zimmer? Yeah, sure, here you go. Oh, great, we want something that sounds like Visage. Oh, we've written this. And he said, you'll get a share of it and just be in the photograph. And I said, I'm out, mate.
Good for you.
I'm out.
Because you have morals and principles and ethics.
I said, mate, I might have nothing.
Yeah.
So I'm taking back my song. So that first album called Welcome to the Dance Floor, I got Brian Tench. Who's he? Well, he was the sound engineer on Visage, Ultravox and OMD. And Kate Bush running up that hill.
Wow.
I went round to his house, miles away. I had to get a train to Richmond and then get a bus. You know how long it takes to get there? And like I'm here now, imagine it's another hour and a half to get home. And then sat there with all my ideas with a guy called Gerard O'Connell that had nearly signed to Island Records, and I found him. I found a demo online. I said, mate, I've written this song, Lonely Highway, and I've written this other song, Ballet Dancer, and I've written this other song. And I got an idea for Welcome to the Dance Floor, and I got a vocoder. He said, I'll come over and help you put it all together, but I only want to be a writer. I said, no problem, mate, you're not in the band. I haven't got a fucking band.
Yeah.
So the point was really, I said, why don't we go to Ibiza? And I have a friend there who's got a villa, and I'll pay for everything from my DJ money. And I knew I'd get it cheap, €50 a night. I mean, nothing. Got a pool, bring your girlfriend.
Lovely.
And we were on the roof with a blanket on the laptop because of the sunshine, you know, just trying to see the laptop. And I stood on the roof and I looked over and I said, welcome to the dance floor.
Great title.
Which is what it was.
Yeah.
And I thought, I'm a DJ and I'm making an album and you can dance to it, but I'm not going to make tick-tock, tick-tock. I'm going to have real musicians playing on it, you know, real singers and shit. So basically, I'm at the moment trying to put them all onto one place, but there's about 5 albums on Bandcamp. And then if you go on Spotify and all the rest of it,
Not Spotify.
I hate it, but...
Yeah.
All right, let's put it like this. I don't make any money from streaming.
No artists do, unfortunately.
I don't care if you want to download my album from Bandcamp, I'll make £1. So I don't care about that. What I care about is when I make them on vinyl and CD and a real book and stuff. And I also have said there's no point making any music if it's not worth putting it on vinyl. So in my opinion, there's 100,000 pieces of shit a day going up on Spotify, but there's the odd album. So the point really is the build up to me writing Welcome to the Dance Floor, it should have been a Visage album. And 9 out of 10 people will tell you, well, it fucking is, isn't it? That other one was just a sort of cash in. But Steve was like, yeah, but I'm getting paid. I don't fucking care, right? And stealing all the royalties. Still to this day. So the point really is I never said nothing, kept my mouth shut, got a book out now, printed a few record labels that go, oh, all the credits say all the songs are written by all of you. I said, yeah, somehow or other somebody managed to remove us. And because they managed to remove us, Steve put me in with Midge. You ripped me off. So I'm keeping all these royalties. So I'm like, yeah, but Midge ripped me off too. And it wasn't him. It was his manager. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I've ended up I've ended up, maybe Midge won't talk to me and lost all my money. So, okay, fine. So the point is, it didn't affect my music. There's no like, you're a bastard song. There's nothing there. It's love. It's romantic. It's beautiful. It's all about love, my songs are. And I lost that beautiful wife, that was with me for all those years.
Yeah.
And I cry when I even think about it. But I also wrote a song called I Thought That I Could Never Love Again.
Love that song.
Exactly.
Wasn't Kobe was going to sing that one? Yeah, well.
And I wrote another song called Love Is Coming My Way.
Yeah, that's a good song.
And
it has.
It has. Really it has. So I'm sort of saying everything you can't buy, I got. I've got beautiful
You got integrity,
children.
My friend. You got integrity.
I take my granddaughter swimming.
Aww.
You know, we're going to Granny, the wife who died's mother, for Christmas. I live with my kids. I work with my kids. No, I mean, I am a millionaire in friends. I've never asked your Bono or anyone, but I did remix U2, and they did pay me really well. And I did remake Mylène Farmer, who's a superstar in France. And I have worked with Peter Hook, Tony Hadley, Claudia
Boy George.
George.
That song Claudia did was Return to the
Brilliant,
Blitz.
isn't it?
Great song.
Brilliant song.
So tell us quickly before we talk about
so they're all brilliant.
Album Romantic.
Yeah.
What's on there?
18 songs.
Yeah, 18.
Yeah, well, that's the point. They take a long time. And I wrote a song on there. And what I do is I argue with people I write with. What do you mean? Well, what I mean is, if you, Terry, said, I want to write a song about going out clubbing. Yeah? Okay. And then you write a song, and it's like, I went to the Roxy, I went to the Blitz, I went to Louise, and I got off my tits, and I dropped the knee, and I go, and the da-da-da, and then it ends, and it da-da. I go, okay, it's a fucking nursery rhyme, okay? So I'm like listening to your Ed Sheerans and that, it's a fucking nursery rhyme, right? But when you say, I read the news today, oh boy, you made a statement, right? And the way you said it. And then when you say, imagine this, no, we're back to John Lennon. And John Lennon said to David Bowie, just tell a story. So when you say, you know, I'm 18 with a bullet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you have just the one. So when I remember Gavin Rosdale, before he was in anything, he had a band, and I took them to Ibiza, and I put them on stage at the Coup Club. And I had Boy Fashion Show, and I did it for Steve, who was living in Ibiza and trying to get clean. That one. Anyway, Gavin started singing a U2 song, and I'm a big fan of U2, right? Especially With or Without You, right? And I said, Gavin, really good-looking boy. You know, Marilyn was in love with him. He's statuesque, beautiful. And I thought, this guy's going to be a pop star, right? I'm going to bring him to Ibiza. And I said, why are you singing a U2 song? You're a pop star. He said, but I love rock. I said, Gavin, do what you love.
Yeah, exactly.
He said, yeah, but no one's into rock. And he was right. There was no one into rock.
Well,
no rock bands getting anywhere.
They broke America,
and not only that, that was the harder route. That was so hard.
It was a harder route.
So anyway, let's get back to my album. So the point is, I think DJs, when I was young, they would want an extended mix of a pop song. And why? Well, they need to drop it. They can't have an intro. It has to be, you know. So the point was, there's a guy called John Luongo, and if you read Michael Jackson, Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and all that, he before Arthur Baker, I mean, he's phenomenal. I got him over from New York, and we did Nona Hendrix from La Belle.
Lovely.
Anyway,
we talked about that.
Yeah, did that in Westbourne Grove as well, Marcus Studios. So anyway, the point is that I don't want a record that goes tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, hi hat, that fucking horrible, boring 34 bars before you hear a melody. Oh yeah, but that's the extended mix. No. If you listen to Stevie Wonder, it starts immediately. Billie Jean,
exactly.
It starts immediately. Dance music, tick tock, tick tock. Come on, straight in there. Get straight in there, right? And now with technology, they can just loop, right? They just loop.
True.
So anyway, without boring your people, it is music. It is, you put the stylus on or you press play. And from that moment on, we've got your attention. Okay, you put it on and then you start doing something, right? But when you are in your darkest hour and you put your headphones on and you play your Pink Floyd album, or you play your album that when you're like Sade, if you're thinking about a relationship, a person, your mother, oh, my mother's favorite album. Music is the story of your life, right? And oh, when I first heard Grace Jones' Slave to the Rhythm, that drum, oh my God, and you never forget that night when you first heard, can you feel it? You know, you remember a time in your life. Music is the story of your life. People who sell it, that's different. You remember when you had an album and it always had a sticker on it, including the top 40 hit, and it was like the sticker ruined the album. You had to get the sticker off, and then they put a shrink wrap on it. Thank God for that, because they were ruining the album. And you know, we cherish this stuff. You keep it for your whole life. And,
absolutely.
And all I'm saying is, I still think like that.
Because like we were saying before, we're both fans of music.
Yeah, so when you put on Romantic, the first side, it's like side 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's side 1.
Hopefully on vinyl.
Yeah, well, vinyl is only 88 minutes, and my album's 105.
Can you not do double album?
Well, I can drop Fade to Grey. And I've got Fade to Grey with Ronnie and Fade to Grey with Zane Griff, both of whom came to the Blitz, both of whom made music at that time, and both of whom worked with Peter Godwin, Hans Zimmer, you know, Vangelis, me and Midge, Tony Visconti, Kate Bush, I mean, Yellow Magic Orchestra. I mean, we're all connected. Absolutely. There's no one on this album that's like some waif and stray.
So I want to bring the focus back to the attention of not only you being a legendary DJ, and I know you said at the beginning, Rusty, that, you know, you were more interested in being in part of a band, a musician, and you've been a drummer and want to get into production and songwriting. But, you know, from someone who back in the day used to go clubbing and obviously went to Heaven and I saw these wonderful DJs, and I went to Francois Kevorkian's his club in New York, Body and Soul, which was the best club I've ever been to.
He remixed my tune with Africa Bambata.
Oh, well, we don't talk about Africa Bambata, but anyway.
Well, I made the tune.
Yeah, brilliant song, and you've worked with a wonderful, legendary, I mean, you know how much I love Grace, but I love Nona Hendrix too, and she's a legend as well.
She's amazing.
So coming back to making music, so you got the latest album Romantic now, but you've been producing and doing remixes and collaborating. You love to collaborate, so you've worked with Peter Hook, you've worked with Tony Hadley,
Boy George, Claudia Brooken, Wolfgang
exactly. So any dream any dream collaborators who you'd love to work with in the future?
Thank you for mentioning
and new artists,
all the music, but I have worked with unknown people,
which we love,
who are, in my opinion,
the future stars.
These days are making better music than the music being made by most of the major record label output. So I think that you can find real nuggets of talent, but those real nuggets of talent, the only way for them to actually get seen is owned. So the route to success is owned, and they are all being despondent. As in, I'm not getting anywhere. So really, the public, us, the fans, we really have to like and share and tell people. Because when you have found an artist that should be signed to a major label and should be on tour with Nick Cave or, you know, on tour with whoever, and they're not. And not only that, some artists I convinced to take unknown acts, and other fans have said, "Hey, have you heard this band?"
I've done it.
Yeah, you've done it.
Yeah.
So we know, we are the A&R.
Yeah.
And then if those artists do get offered a record deal, they then get told to change and do it the way that the record company want them to do it. So for me, I said, hey, I really like your song. I'd like to remake it with you in my style. And then they have had a bit of light shown on them. But I've remixed you too, and if you go to my Spotify, there's like 1 million streams and all that. And then I've got what I consider to be amazing music with 5,000 streams, and I'm going, how could anyone hear one song by a person and not then be attracted to listen to something else? I don't understand that. So I go on Bandcamp and I find unknown people and I just write to them. I go, I think you're brilliant.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then the other day, I shared this girl I found called Julia Bondar. And I've been banging on about her for like 3 albums. And then I said, back in my day, I would discover somebody on their first single and they'd be a success by the first album.
Yeah.
Now, these people have got 3-4 albums out. They've been doing consistently amazing music, and they're not getting anywhere. And then all the radio programs, they don't play them anymore. They're getting rid of all the nighttime radio. And then BBC introducing playing AI bloody artists. It's like nobody knows anything anymore.
Well, let me tell you about this. So hopefully, and I'm sure you know him, and he's a legend, and we've interviewed him, and he's a great friend of mine. The wonderful Chris Cowie, who was the producer of Top of the Pops, The White Room, and also started off with The Tube. They're planning, hopefully, to do a TV show, a new chart show, but they also want to feature new music. So I think it's really important with this day and age where the record company not only own you, and even when you're signed to the record label, then the promoter like Live Nation would have a cut of your merchandise. I mean, it's just
Everything.
so wrong.
Yeah.
And then with the streaming, you're getting screwed over again by the record companies because they're taking that chunk. The artists are getting peanuts compared to the streams they get. I think it's really important that there should be new ways of medium, especially for TV program with the extra, exposure. Don't get me wrong, I love Jules Holland and I've seen many great artists on there, but TV, for a start, needs something new. Radio, and we want to invite you on Radio Free Pimlico. So I do a community radio show with wonderful Angelica, who's got, you think I'm good, she's got the most amazing knowledge of music. And we like independent artists, we like new artists, as well as we introduce future legends and hopefully yourself. It's all about giving love to the new artists, and I really respect someone like you, who's a legend, who's been in the industry for so long, or let's say not industry, involved in music and creative process for so long, that you're giving a love and heads up to all these new artists, because that's what they really need in the time where it's really hard to make a living as a musician or an artist.
Yeah,
getting screwed over, and it's a common tale.
But I think
of artists being ripped off.
I think that if I played you artists that I discovered 10 years ago that were making music that I put on here at the Notting Hill Festival or something like that, a girl called Nina. She's made like 3 albums and now she's had a baby with a guy in a band and she lives in Berlin. But I think if I played you her album now, you'd think it's brand new. And it's absolutely brilliant. So if you look at my discography, you will find Cult with No Name. They've made 10 albums. You go, what? Yeah, but it's just people can make music in their house. Yeah. They can just keep writing and producing music. Back in the 80s, you had £1,000 a day for a studio and a producer and the artwork, and you know what I mean? So I think there is a massive volume of talented people making amazing music, let's say on Bandcamp, doing it all themselves, just under the radar, right? But people like you and me, we've got the ears. Now, as I said, when I was at Island Records and I introduced Scaland, Dorsey, I was completely ignored by the industry people. They all had jobs. Their job was to find Amy Winehouse. Their job was to find it, right? Yeah. Okay, so what I'm saying is we're just fans. We just know, right? Are we going to give that away? No. So if there was a platform, now taken in consideration, I booked Wham I didn't even like Wham Rap. I thought it was a crap record. But I'd met George in the bar, and he said, we're doing this record with Mark Dean, right? Remember, I don't know if you know Mark Dean. So the bottom line was, it goes, you guys are stars. I knew people. I booked the William Orbit, Yellow. I mean, who are these weird fucking people? I just love what they're doing. I loved Underworld when they were called Fleur, right? The point is, we know, and we can pick all the tunes and pick all the people. And you know when you meet an artist, like me talking to that 26-year-old kid the other night, he didn't tell me where to get off. He didn't tell me who the fuck are you. He listened to me, right? And I know that he's going to go back and look at his lyrics and he's going to go, oh, those lyrics were bollocks. They were like Ed Sheeran lyrics. Fuck that. I'm going to write some proper lyrics. I'm going to listen. I told him all about the Doors. I said, do you understand what Jim Morrison was? A fucking poet. Yeah. I mean, he wasn't just some guy who did nursery rhymes. Okay? So all I'm saying is, I think that, sure, your mate has a TV show, but so does Simon Cowell with a boy band.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is, Chris Cowie loves great music.
Yeah,
and
but Jules Holland has great music at 10 o'clock at night on I don't know what night.
The fact of the matter is, there should be another TV show to have extra exposure, because, you know, it's not all about the Coldplays and the Adele.
All right, you've heard me talk too much, haven't you?
Yeah.
Okay. If I went into a boardroom of a TV company,
yeah,
I don't fit in. We are ADHD. You go down Ladbroke Grove and talk to a guy about reggae music and culture. You don't fit in the fucking boardroom in me. These people that make television programs, these people that book people, these people are the gatekeepers. And the gatekeepers go, oh my God, that bloody nutty bloke's outside. He's got his skinned t-shirt on and he's going on about some crazy bloke.
Not all of them.
All us crazy people. These are all crazy people. Yeah. I saw Sade when she was a backing singer in a band in a Mayfair club, which is called. It was it had a monsoon. It was in the Mayfair Hotel in the basement. Then I went to Heaven to see her. Then I got her demo on DJM, right? And I couldn't get anyone to sign her. I mean, I signed Johnny H. Jazz when he was 18. He was a singer-songwriter. Yeah, Clark Datchler. I signed him when he was 18. I signed B-Movie, Nowhere Girl. I signed Bill Laswell, who wrote I Could Be Wrong, I Could Be Right with Public Image. I mean, I found Magnus Fines, who did All Saints. I mean, the list is endless of people that will say, yeah, Rusty, yeah. Well, he didn't sign me, but he introduced me to, you know, and all this kind of thing. But 9 out of 10 will say, God, he's nuts. And yeah, we're nuts. We need to get nuts onto a medium platform.
Yeah.
Not, hi, it's Jules Holland and here's another band from America that the record industry own that have been planted here to put in front of you, and they've got everything that you could want them to have. Fine. We got that. They've been on tour with everyone. They've done everything. They've made an album. But in America, there's a radio station. I think it's called KYRX or something like that. London Grammar. Bang! She came on and she started to sing Wicked Game. Even though it was a cover version. Yeah. Her vocal was phenomenal.
Well, check out Lou Saint.
I know, you told me.
Yeah,
so maybe A&R. What is artist and repertoire?
Good
artist is number one.
Yeah.
Repertoire is the music.
Yeah.
Now, if you said to Elvis, do you write songs? No. Okay, well, I've got Holland, Dozier Holland. Right? So you had the songwriter. You had the producer. You had the band. That woman who played bass on 200 tracks. I watched her not being allowed into the studio where she made them all. I walk past Trident Studios while they've got tourists going, and David Bowie recorded here, and I'm just walking past. And yeah, I own that for 5 years, you know. We made all those records, etc., etc. We don't exist because we're crazy. It's a bit like Russell Brand when he used to go to some big office in New York to get some horrible bloke who was doing some terrible business. And you remember politics, and you can't get into the building. All the security are trying to keep you out. You know what I mean? But really, he was right and they were wrong. Can you get into Sony and see Sir Lucian Grange when you were Napster? No. Yeah. They didn't want to know Napster.
Well, we
don't want to know.
We can agree that there has to be some change, and there has to be some change where the artists get paid properly, the credits are all correct. Let's just wrap it up. So this has been TerryTopcat for TerryTopcat Purrsents with the legendary Rusty Egan. Any future musical projects? Have you got the book, which is out now, the autobiography? You got
Thank
Romantic.
you, Terry-Topcat.
You're welcome.
Romantic. As you can tell, I talk too much. And the book has a list of 20 other books that you should read.
Okay.
This is just about me getting messed up as a kid, getting messed up in the business, taking 20 years out, saying, I don't want to know, I'm so damaged by it. Then I came back and got robbed again. The industry sucks. I wouldn't recommend my own son to be in it. I just think you go to ChatGPT or AI and you make shit music. I think the future is shit for music, but not for the fact that the people exist. But the people that exist, real artists, real people, they have to go to a tiny club like the Troubadour and people will pay 10 quid. Yeah, they will pay 10 quid to hear and be right in front of you like this. Yeah. And you're going to say, this is a song that I've written, and you're a human being with a guitar, a synth, a drum machine, Ableton, somebody on a cello, whatever you want. And all these people here, none of them had AI, none of them had the money to go into a studio, none of them, they probably all not even getting paid. You know, there's nothing being made from all of this, right? And yeah, they probably make money from a book or a sponsorship deal for trainers. Yeah. Music is worthless as a commodity, but it has a value to sell something. Clickbait, right? So, not to me, when I write a song about losing my wife, who was there for me, and I fucking cry when I sing it, well, Adele writes a song and the entire Albert Hall is in tears. There are artists that can just stand there, like Ray, and they can just sing that song.
I do love Ray.
She's fantastic. Yeah. So the industry will have 90% crap. They don't care. It's money-making crap.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you are the next Sade, look at what Sade did. Turned her back completely on the industry. Does not do anything. Prince tried to do it. George Michael tried to do it. Michael Jackson tried to do it. Excuse me. You know, so I think if you can do it all on your own, don't let anyone anywhere near you.
Great advice.
Own everything.
On that advice, Rusty, it's been fantastic. This has been TerryTopcat for TerryTopcat Purrsents for clusterview.com. Wonderful Mark Anthony Abel is actually filming and editing, and this will be out after Christmas. What an honour, and can't wait to see you DJ again and hang out with you, my friend. All the best, Rusty. Thank you so much. Take care.
Love you, mate.
Love you too.
If you don't see no boxing down, you know this town's dying quick.